September 10th, 2019. Guys, you're looking at the 5-day National Hurricane Center forecast. We've got two storms coming off the African coast, and they both have a 20% chance of development. But we got to focus for a moment on disturbance number 1. It's been upgraded to a 40% chance, and when you see the satellite images, you'll understand. And it's saying that ships are indicating that tropical storm force wind gusts are occurring in some of the heavier squalls. Limited development of the disturbance is expected during the next few days while the system moves slowly west-northward across the Bahamas. However, environmental conditions could become more favorable for development when the system moves over the Florida Straits and into the eastern Gulf of Mexico. The waters are extremely warm here. It says over the weekend, guys, watch 14th, 15th, and 16th. This thing is going to be on shore. Regardless of development, this disturbance will produce periods of locally heavy rainfall and gusty winds across the Bahamas through Thursday and across the Florida on Friday and continuing into the weekend. This thing, we're going to have to really pay attention to it, guys, because it's really catching a gear right now. You got a 20% chance of this storm forming, and the models are indicating also the storm that's going to appears to be going to catch up with this thing has a 20% chance of development. And the same thing's happening as they get a little closer. It will become more conducive for development. As you can see, disturbance number 2 and 3 are at 20%. They were at 30% yesterday, but that's going to change, I think, in the next few days after they get into the Caribbean. And that's where they're projected to come through. Now, this is a, excuse me for cutting the top off, but it's CMC model. It's the Canadian model that is very accurate. This has got it on the 15th, guys. It's already kind of late to prepare if this model holds true, because it's going to track exactly up the Mississippi River. Check this out. 15th, I'm going to back it up first. 14th, notice where it's at. And at that time, all your preps definitely need to be made, because we've seen these storms come into this Gulf of Mexico too many times, strengthen up, and then turn right and north a little faster than expected. Ask the folks that got affected by Hurricane Michael if it doesn't happen, and Ivan and many others. Also, the second storm behind it is now over Cuba. Check this out. We'll pull this up. It tracks the Mississippi River. Then coming in by the 20th, we have the secondary system over the island of Cuba, September the 20th. Check this out. But again, what I'm going to focus on the next few days, of course, we'll do the reports on both of them, are the temperatures in the Gulf of Mexico and the wind shear and the conditions, because we're in a backloaded system. Today is the peak. Now, looking at this satellite, a couple of things here. Notice the proximity to Florida and the Bahamas. But it's a totally different storm than it was this morning. It wasn't nearly this organized, and now the upper level winds, and it's going into nighttime, switching to infrared, are starting to rotate with the surface winds. The surface winds are what we're containing the rotation. You can back this up and check it out. But guys, I've got to keep it short. The long ones are not loading right now. I'm not sure what's going on. But anyway, we will update it. You know now you got a 40% chance of development. This storm looks like it could become very, very dangerous, and I'm very concerned. First, we got to watch southern Florida. Of course, the Bahamas, they don't need to take any more, but they're going to take some probably tropical storm force activity, depending on the speed as it comes through here. But my state here in Mississippi, and my friends in Louisiana, Texas, and Alabama, and Florida, all the way up, we're really going to have to watch this one. This is a heads up, guys. Be safe.